So this is an exciting month, kind of. Next week, it would have been a week away had I done it yesterday, a week exactly. But next week is my rebirth day.
I'll drink to that.
Of course you will. So I don't, I don't have any. Oh wait, I was going to tell you how old. 54 and counting. I don't have any particular plans at this point. I had hoped for a beach day, not just for my birthday, but spiritually, just to kind of zen. But I do not think that I can work that out within the next week. I'm looking at it, but I don't know. I do have all sorts of other stuff going on this month. Of course, there's my regular work routine. I'm running the mayor every now and again. I'm working on different things around here, indoors, outdoors, except the other way around because this is indoors and that's outdoors. Uh, 2 tires getting mounted, which happened today, as well as emissions. And there's a baseball game to attend. I already have the tickets. And there's a show I would like to go see really, really, very much. That's going to make life a little rougher on me, and I've been having to push it back further and further. But it is my mission to get there. And of course, there's nights at the Legion, a possible run to Delaware. There's adventure around every corner. Theme of the week. There is nothing that can be thought that can't be made manifest. I I I do not completely understand this. I do not completely understand this. I mean, I grasp the concept. I get the basic fundamentals, but I would hardly say that I have learned the lesson because I have I have plenty of thoughts in my life that have not manifest. Plenty. However, I included the theme because one of my recent thoughts has been on my August budget. And when I started working on this video in my head, like last Friday night, I was looking at a large negative for an extended period of time. A large negative balance, it says here, for a slightly extended time. Something like $500 for 10 days. And I saw that and I thought, now how the hell do I get past that? However, and that's why I was going to share it, because there is nothing that can't be thought. I have to get through this, is the thought that can't be made manifest. Oh, okay, how? By Monday morning, that negative had dropped down to less than $200 in one of those weeks and less than 100 the following. And that sounds worse than it is, but I can manage until then. And I have ways around that if I have to when I get there, and some of that will disappear until then. That doesn't bother me. But like 500 over 2 weeks, like straight, it was just nothing but negative balance. And the thing about that adjustment is it was all sort of organic. It happened naturally on its own. I didn't push anything. I didn't do anything. So within like 3 days, that change happened. It made manifest. Uh, like I spent a little less here, and a little bit of money that I knew was coming sometime came in there, and then just all of a sudden, poof, a thought made manifest. And I'm saying nothing about this either way, in any way, to any level, just an observation. But I am curious if that can work for the beach. Dude, look what I found when I was cleaning earlier.
Hey, I remember those. I haven't seen one for years. It's a weed jar.
It's a film canister.
That's what I said. Weed jar.
Walter!
Smells fresh.
Life moving forward. Let me give you the cap here, the pre-cap. This is where spiritual breakdown comes into play, because, like, for me now, the 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 November 2020 more to November 2020 jive is what I call a 0 year. If I'm looking at patterns and cycles and stories, things that are happening, if I look at a start, there's always a void after the initial start. After the initial bang, there's a void, a place where everything exists but nothing has formed. And that's exactly what my life was for that whole year. Like, I I I was I was in such a void, because I had the home but I could lose the home. I had no income but I could get income. I I couldn't work but I was going to work. I just didn't know how much or how little. Everything existed but nothing had formed for months. And in that time, by the time some things had formed, some things had changed, like losing the homestead. And I spent the rest of that time adjusting to this and making sure that Salem Boston trip happened. So my life was in great transition, and it existed but was nothing all at the same time. It had no form, no foundation, and I think we definitely saw that in any videos from that time. No, so now November 2020 jive to November 2020 fix is a 1 year, and I'm pointing this out for a reason. Uh, the year in which all things personally and directly related to me take hold and help define my life. It provides the basic structure. So, in this year, I have built a functional and comfortable space in which to live and thrive. I have established my schedules and my routines. I have not conquered my finances, but I have certainly tamed them, and they have been put towards good use in all areas across the board. Like, it's been a very different experience than my past. My life as a whole is so different than past years, past decades. There's still a very, very long way to go, but I truly, I cannot complain. For me, it is also important to note that one is a singular number. It is solitary and alone. At the very beginning of December 2020 jive, I lost my daughters. We did the Salem Boston trip. We had a big fight. That opened the door to all sorts of, I don't know what happened. But they decided at that point that they were cutting me out of their lives completely, which is what they have done. And that was that. There has been no real contact since. I tell a little something at some point in the process of these videos, and that does not look at me, can pass me in the driveway, and does not acknowledge I exist. They were my world up to that point. They were everything. They don't seem to think so, but okay. That's neither here nor there. The point being that yes, I've had my friends, but for all intents and purposes, I have walked through this last year alone. I have. I've just been going through it very, very alone. So the next 3 months, August, September, October, will be life continuing to do whatever it is it's doing as it settles into place for what is the annual void of my year, December, January, February, well, November, December, January. Every year, every year for 30 years, life just is different. November, December, January. But also, by mid-November, we will begin the 2 year of our current leg of my life journey. 2 is balance, duality, equality, partnership. Let us see what lies ahead. Live the day you dreamed of. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you all. Wherever you are and whenever you are, please like, comment, and share. We're on a journey and it takes everyone to get there. So without hesitation, for now and for always, from here in Geistopia, this is your beloved Rev
And Walt.
and Doc and Johnny and those guys saying stay tuned in, fellow travelers, and wishing you peace, love, light,
And freakishness, baby. Scrumdiddlyicious.
I keep putting the lid back on this shine, thinking I'm done using it as a prop, and as soon as I get back to this putz, I'm like, oh no, there's some there. He must have written the script.
I might have whispered in an ear or two.